What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the video by Helmet 49ers podcast. We're gonna be doing the Cowboys vs 49ers postgame podcast. I am your host JT, and that's me. And my co-host is my dad.
What's happening, y'all?
But first, don't forget to like.
And subscribe.
What a game! That was as crazy as last year's game against the Cowboys in the wild card.
To the last second, right?
Yep.
I am emotionally drained. I'm totally drained.
We beat the Cowboys 19-12, and it was kind of a boring game, honestly, because we didn't score that many points. 19 got 37 points in the last 4 games, except for this game. We're in a little bit of a streak, but has to end.
Yeah. And Dallas's defense they really came out to play. They were really tough against the run. We couldn't get much going on the ground, and their pass rush was on it today too. So it was affecting our pass game too. So Purdy was getting rushed, and they were closing the holes for our run game. So yeah, it was a little bit on the boring side, which made it really close and interesting. Let's just say that.
Our only touchdown was like a 2-yard touchdown with Christian McCaffrey. He walked right in.
Yep. Yeah, went right through. So that was the only touchdown for us, and Dallas only got one touchdown too, to Dalton Schultz too. It was a very close game throughout the whole. We never seemed to have a firm grasp of victory. You know, it was always teetering on a possible tie, a comeback from the Cowboys, but yeah. So some of the playmakers on our team, offensively, what would you say had a good game?
I would say George Kelly was 5 for 5, didn't drop any passes, but one I'm surprised he didn't drop was the one where I caught one-handed. It was a 30-yard pass by Brock Purdy, and he was like juggling it, and it bounced on his helmet, and then he just caught it. And that was just an amazing play. I've seen that before, honestly, but still, it's an amazing catch.
You've seen it from Kittle before?
Yeah, against the Raiders in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, man. I mean, this guy always gets all the props for being a great blocker, blocking tight end. But this guy's really got some great hands on him. And the concentration is through the roof. My God. For him to be running full speed, tip the ball in the air like 3 times, one time with his helmet, like you said, and then to still focus on the ball. And the guy was, I don't know who it was, a safety or something, was coming right down at him, but he didn't cringe at all. He just focused on that ball and made that catch, which was very important. I think that really boosted our offense and got it going a bit. I mean, he was, like you said, 5 for 5, right? 95 yards. He was probably the most important offensive playmaker in this game. You know, for another person I would say is Brock Purdy. Okay, his stats aren't mind-blowing. 214 yards, no touchdowns,
Yeah.
no interceptions. I think he got sacked twice. QB rating
No,
of
he got sacked
87.4.
3 times, I swear.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, he did. He was pressured a lot. But man, once again, right? Okay.
Has no test.
Yeah, we talk about tests, and every single game is a test for him, for a rookie to be playing this well.
Last round. Last pick in the last round.
Yes, exactly. That too, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, he didn't get a touchdown, sure. But he controlled the offense, got us within scoring distance, like range for field goals and stuff, and was going against a ferocious pass rush, which is the Cowboys. So I give him credit for that. I mean, he didn't light it up, but he didn't like shrink in the bright lights of this playoff game. So
He's still playing well enough. He'll have a bounce back game for sure.
exactly, I think he will get better And I think this was more of a fluke because, like you said, we've scored 37 or more points in the last, what, 4 games, was it? And um, this was a one off, to tell you the truth, then. So um, I know, the next matchup is Philly, and they have a great pass rush, also defense and everything. So they're
And they're at
stacked.
home.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's go to the defensive side of the ball, huh? Who do you think give some props to a playmaker on the defensive side?
Fred Warner, 7 solo tackles. I think was it 9 tackles in
Mm-hmm.
total.
Mm-hmm.
I expect that from him. But what I didn't expect was a interception. And he also got a pass deflection.
Yeah. 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 He did. And he was that CD Lamb that he ran down the field with and to guard him.
Yes.
God, Fred Warner can go against the top receiver. And it's like, geez. So yeah, the interception was great, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Ward went through his hands. I mean, it just bounced off his hands, and then it went right to Fred Warner. Luckily, and there was no one behind C Lamb to catch it or things like that. It was right to Fred Warner. He got a solid return. It was tackled out of bounds, and I don't remember. Do we score a field goal on that drive? We didn't score a touchdown that drive.
Yeah, I think it was a field goal. So
Okay.
yeah, it was once again turnovers are big time, and it turns the game around and gave us momentum, for sure. And that was what Dak's second interception. So he hasn't been looking so hot against us. So another person that I thought was a good playmaker for us on defense was Jimmy Ward. He, I think it was second in the team with solo tackles, 6 solo tackles. He had two passes deflected, and I think one of them is the one that Warner actually picked off at the end. So he was kind of important for that turnover too. And of course, the last stop of the game, nice spear tackle.
Yes, I like to call it a spear. So like WWE, like George Kittle. So it was a solid spear rate, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. As long as there was no flag. I'm glad. I'm glad Jimmy Ward was able to tackle that guy quickly, get him to the ground, and game is over. Niners win. So, how about some other playmakers on the other parts of the team?
Yeah, special teams. Robbie Gold, 4 for 4 on field goals, and as long as 50 yards. And he's not that much of a rangy guy. He max probably for me is like 55, I would think.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
man, we needed those field goals big time in this game because it was a big defensive showdown between our two teams. And lucky we don't have that other kicker over there. Although he did okay, right? He hit.
yeah, but he can hit a 6 yard field goal, but just can't make an extra point. That's all.
Yeah, but I think they won a fourth down, didn't they? A couple times because they just didn't trust the the kicker.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, so I think it did affect the game, huh? So they had to go on maybe fourth downs when they didn't need to, if they had a competent kicker. Anyway, so yeah, so Robbie Gold, yeah, 4 for 4 on field goals. Thank you very much. That helped tons out. And like we saw, we were able to hold the Cowboys to 12 points, and they blew up the Buccaneers last week, huh?
Yeah, we made a bad Dak Prescott, not a good Dak Prescott, but bad.
Yeah, yeah. So our defense showed up big time, and we pretty much shut down that great offense. A big loss for the Cowboys was,
Tony Pollard,
yeah, man,
ankle
God,
injury.
it looked pretty gruesome when I saw the replays. I was cringing. I was like, whoa, that ankle should not be turning that far around.
Okay, back to the special teams. Ray McLeod. I'm not sure if he had a good game or not. I just don't know.
Oh yeah, Ray right, man. Oh, what Ray gives, he takes back. But Yeah, that was he was known for doing that, right? He had a
Yeah, but he hasn't really done that whole lot. But
exactly.
why do you have to do it in the playoffs? Just do it in the preseason.
Yeah, get those, fumbles out of the way early on, when it's not as important. But right now, hold on to the ball. It's
Yeah, wait until next year's preseason.
yeah. Um but I think the defense still held them. Man, we were like they had it right there close in the red zone right off the bat with that fumble recovery. But yeah. But then, Ray Ray did make up for it. He had a pretty good return.
Yeah.
It was like a 30, 40 yarder or something like that. Something like that. 30 yarder.
Oh, I thought it was like 50 yards.
Oh yeah? Oh, okay. I'll go 50.
Yeah, hopefully he can continue doing that, but not the fumble. Just slow down with that, or else we're going to have to replace you with Danny Gray,
We'll
which
see about
would be a lot more fun.
that. Yeah, just hold on to that ball for sure. Um yeah. So going back to the Cowboys, we did stop Dak. He didn't have a great game. 206 yards, one touchdown, and two
Yeah,
interceptions.
1 to 2 ratio.
That's the thing with they were saying about Dak. He turned the ball over a lot this season. 15 interceptions, leading the NFL in the regular season.
Like you said, he didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah, he needs to get some more sleep.
His sleep IQ score is negative 500.
Yeah, I think he needs to find a new mattress. Anyway, yeah, his QB rating was a pretty lowly 63.6. Compared to Purdy's. I think his was 87.4. So
Yeah, but that's still not the best.
yeah, yeah. So we didn't get to go a whole lot of rush on him though, but enough pressure where I think he might have thrown the ball a little earlier, off timing, as rushed him a little bit. Those little things help, I think. Zeke, the run game. With Tony Pollard out, it was all Zeke, right?
Yeah, he had only 26 yards and 2.6 yards per carry as an average.
That's not gonna do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, Zeke is washed. I'm gonna say it.
Oh yeah,
Next year will be a 500-yard season.
you could be right. You could be right.
I don't know how much he had this season. Not 1,000 yards. That's all I know.
Their big playmaker on their offense was definitely CeeDee Lamb. He did look great. I wish we did draft him, but he looks great. Can do it all. But he had 117 yards.
Yeah, he kind of destroyed us a bit, but hopefully our secondary can improve. And we are going against two 1,000-yard receivers next week, so we better be prepared.
Oh man, I
Especially
mean,
DeAndre Lenore. It's gonna be AJ Brown versus Tarvarius Ward, and then DeAndre Lenore versus Devontae Smith.
oh man, I mean, Lenore did get that interception, right? So
Yeah, but
that's two,
Jalen Hurts
right?
is not Dak Prescott at throwing interceptions.
That's true. Good point. But then Lenore, didn't he have a one last week too,
Yeah,
right?
he
So
did.
two interceptions 2 weeks in a row. Let's keep it up. Yeah, you want to throw that towards Lenore? He was gonna make you pay sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. um, yeah. So you want to talk about?
Elijah Mitchell's first down at the end. He should have stayed inbound so the clock would keep running,
Oh
but
yes,
he went
right.
out of bounds
Oh
instead.
man, that just kept everything nice and tense for us to the bitter end. You and I were just like, yeah, like you're right. That was a brain fart on his part, and the coaching staff would talk to him, you know, like the people on the TV commentaries said he should have just taken a knee, slid down as soon as he got that first down, slide down inbound, let the clock keep rolling. I think the Cowboys had two timeouts still. It would have forced them to easily use those two, and we would have been down to maybe 10 and 20 seconds left if we, didn't even get a first down again.
We
So
still won though.
we did. Yeah, we just had to make it more of a nail biter. Ooh,
Yeah,
no thanks. I like the blowouts.
yeah, I prefer that.
Yeah.
I like 50-point games from us, and less than 10 points from another team. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh,
But not from the Eagles.
that would be a relaxing game to watch if it was that way.
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Or
No. We'll be doing the pregame for NFC Championship. My God, I mean,
3 of the last 4 seasons, we've been in the NFC Championship. You guys, you fans are lucky. We're lucky to be fans of the Niners.
yeah, and you know, a little side note, the people on the TV commentators when we were talking about Dallas fans taking over Levi's, and from what I could tell, it was a sea of red over there too. A little sprinkling of some blue maybe, but I could barely see them. So,
I want you Niners fans to take over Philadelphia. I want
yes.
60-40. I don't care how far it is. You guys travel all the way there. I want you guys to take over.
We are the best fans in the NFL. We are, and you can see it in the away games, home games, everything. We're the best.
Yeah,
Let's
but
show
we
'em.
don't let any teams take over. We take over other teams' stadiums.
Yes, exactly. It's our house, and their house is our house too. We're gonna make it like that. So, yeah. NFC Championship once again. All right. Philly looks very strong, very powerful. For on our game, we can go head to head with those guys.
Yeah, we could do it. Maybe a lower overall, but we have more talent.
But it is number 1 seed, number 2 seed versus each other at the NFC Championship game. It is going to be a heck of a battle.
I know this is not within our conference, but let's talk about the AFC too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
AFC.
My God.
It's Bengals versus Chiefs. Last year's rematch. It's set up to be like last year. For the NFC Championship, it's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship. Were the Rams the number 1 seed last season? The whole conference.
Ooh, I don't know if they were number one, but we were coming from behind for sure. They were the higher seed, of course. That's why we had to go over to SoFi. Yeah, it seems like 3 out of the 4 teams from last year's playoffs are back. It's just the Rams are not there. It's the Eagles, but it's still the same. Chiefs, Bengals, Niners, those three.
All the teams that are in the AFC Championship were in the playoffs last year.
And then we heard that the Bengals have beaten the Chiefs the last 3 times. Last 3 times they played.
Yeah, that.
So they're on a winning streak against
Yeah.
them. And with Mahomes hobbled with that,
Ankle injury.
oh man, it's gonna be interesting.
Next
say the
week,
least.
I'm gonna bite my nails and they're all gonna come off. I'm so scared.
And the NFC Championship game is going to be the first game. It's going to come before the AFC game. So the other time it was the other way around last year. Remember, we found out that the Bengals won right before the Niners and Rams played. Remember, we were like, oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
the Bengals in the Super Bowl. That's great. But this time it's flipped. NFC first, AFC next. After that, on Sunday night. So
It could have been the 49ers versus the Bengals. We need that rematch.
yeah.
I want the revenge. We could be in the Bengals too if we were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, coulda, shoulda.
But this is our year.
Yep. But we have the toughest opponent right now. The Eagles are hot. They're definitely hot right now. So, Chiefs are hobbled. Bengals, I say, pretty hot too.
Yeah, if you can beat the Bills, then you're a pretty good team.
And we're a solid team. Top to bottom. So, it's gonna be a heck of a battle, man.
I know this might sound crazy, but I feel like whoever wins Super Bowl, yes, whoever has the last pick in the draft is gonna find like a Mr. Relevant quarterback, and it's gonna be like a competition. Who's the best Mr. Relevant quarterback of all time? And that's gonna happen sooner or later. I just know it.
That I don't know. It's tough to find a quarterback in the first round, let alone the 7th round. So, but I do think you have a point. I think teams are going to be more open to seeing not the perfect prototypical quarterback, not the guy with the 6'5" body and huge arm, rocket arm, as they say. So I think teams are going to have an eye open to other types of quarterbacks, not just the usual. You know, so I think there will be a Purdy effect happening in the draft, uh, and also with their um, the players that they have in their teams. They're going to take a deeper look a little bit into the depth of their quarterback and say, hey, maybe this guy needs a chance to show what he's got. So it could affect a lot, moving forward in the future.
Well, that wraps up for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.